everyone, it's Sophia here from Zen Guidance. Thank you so much for clicking on this pick a card or pick an envelope reading today. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at all of the messages you need to hear right now. So those intuitive messages that you are drawn to by choosing one of these 4 piles. So if you're unfamiliar with how these readings work, it's really simple. All I need you to do is choose one of these 4 piles. So you may be drawn to one of the crystals. So I will get to the pile selection in just a moment. But I've already pre-selected the cards, shuffled them and chosen them, put them face down in the envelopes. So I'm going to be looking at them live with you at the same time as you see them is when I will see them too. So this is where you come in, and I need you to just choose one of these piles that you feel the most drawn to. You may be drawn to more than one. So it might be that there are more than one message for you in different piles. It might be that you're not drawn to any of them. If you're not feeling an instinctual pull, it may be that there are no messages in this reading for you today. So, I've got lots of other pick a card readings you could have a look at, but there are tons of other readers on here as well with amazingly accurate content. So you have to just go with what feels right. That's what this is about. It's using your gut instinct and being drawn to the messages. So now we're going to get to the pile selection. So we have group 1 with the oh my god, it just slipped my mind. Blue obsidian, there we go. I knew it would come back. Blue obsidian. So if you feel drawn to pile 2, you may be drawn to this I think it's a selenite or a clear quartz geode. Okay. Then number 3, we have the amethyst points. And then we have number 4 with the Dalmatian jasper. Just realised I forgot to put my light on, so which would have helped with seeing the crystals in all their glory, but oh well, I'll pop it on in just a second. So once you've made your choice, feel free to pause the video here if you want to meditate on it, really take your time. But a lot of the time you may have already made up your mind before I even got there. You might be just drawn to one in particular. So whichever one you're drawn to, go with your gut feeling. And once you've made your choice, you can go to the description box below where you'll find the corresponding timestamps to your chosen pile. And you'll also find the information there on how to book a private reading with me. So if you're interested in going into more depth and having a really personalized reading, then all the information is also in the description box. You'll also find my TikTok link there as well. So if you're on TikTok and you like to watch readings there, feel free to follow me over on there. Okay, so let's get straight on ahead to your reading. Okay, group number 1, and if those of you chose the blue obsidian, I've got my light on now, so look how shiny that is. Love it. So let's see what messages you need to hear. Okay. Let's take a look. Put that over there for the moment. There we go. Okay, the first card we have is Jump In, Andromedan Energy, Adventure, and Say Yes to Change. Okay, so maybe for some of you, you've received some opportunities, or there's some kind of choice for you to make, I feel. So it may be that you've gotten really comfortable in a situation. For some of you might even feel bored and maybe you're ready for this change, but there's definitely something coming that you're going to have to make a decision on, and it feels like you're being guided to say yes to that change. So let's see what other messages were meant to find you today. Okay, so we've got the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation and integration time. I'm just really drawn to that light. It feels, I don't know, like electrifying. It's reminding me of lightning, lightning striking. So something feels very sudden. Okay, so yeah, you may be going through this change, this awakening. Maybe you've seen something from a new perspective. But yeah, definitely there's, I don't know, you're either going through the change right now or there's a change coming that you are being forewarned about. Okay. Wow, grand trine and blessings. So this is always an amazing card to come through, okay? I mean, so it feels like whatever this awakening is, whatever this change is going to bring you abundance. It's going to bring you so many blessings. You know, trine aspect is a nice, easy, flowing aspect between the planets. So, you know, it can create a lot of positive changes. It's not as strong as, say, a square or an opposition, but it tends to be that a negative charge tends to be a stronger energy than a positive one. So it may be that the change isn't as intense as it could be, but I think in a good way, I feel like it's going to bring you a lot of positivity, or unless it feels like a challenge at first, but it will provide fruit with all the labor that you've put in at the end. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Saturn return and age. Okay, so it may be that you're going through some kind of a change to the structure of your life. Okay, this is about foundation, your foundations. So with a Saturn return, it could be that there is something that's been very limiting. Okay, this could be about your finances or about your home or a long-term relationship. And it feels like because it's a return, there's something about going back over something and redoing it, because those are the best things to do in return energies, like Mercury or Saturn retrogrades. For instance, with a Mercury retrograde, it's always good to redo anything with the word re in front of it, reignite, reinvent, restart. If there's a project or something intellectually, like through you know, online communications or something, you know, anything mercurial, it's a good time to restart something. And with Saturn, you know, this is about restarting something structurally. Again, this could be about the way that you work, again, the way that you earn your money, the place that you live. This could be about redecorating. Maybe you started to see the place that you live in a different light, and maybe, you know, you're what was that word, begins with re, like redo a house, remodel, but it's not that word either. I can't remember, it'll come to me probably much later. But you get the idea. So maybe that's what you're already doing right now. You're having to go over things again. But it's always going to bring blessings in the end if you don't go against the flow. You know, if you go with the flow of the energy, if it's pulling you in this direction to go over something, and yes, continue figuring out the structure and changing something about it, of your life. And maybe this is about your daily routine, or something about your discipline. It could be about willpower, the habits that you have, anything that you've really felt limited about. Because Saturn return, this could also be about your own Saturn return, especially if you are around the age of 28, 29 or 58, 59. You know, you could be going through a first Saturn return or a second Saturn return. And, you know, those are usually the time in our life where wherever Saturn has been limiting, it will go over everything again. And, you know, it might feel like a crisis situation, but it's actually helping to regenerate everything. And, you know, once you get past your first Saturn return, the place in which Saturn was limiting that area of your life will actually start to fall away. But if you've done the preparatory work, if you've acknowledged where you need to make changes in your life for the better, you know, then it will then bring those blessings. Okay, and I feel like the fact that this has come through, I feel like that is what's happening for you. You have done the work. You have gone over things, or maybe again, might be something that you are still figuring out the details of things. But you've gone through a big, big awakening, okay? Or an awakening is definitely on the way. Okay, it's going to be different timing for everybody, of course, that watches it. You're all going to be at different stages of this. So for some of you, this might feel like this is past energy and you're now moving forwards. For some of you, you might be in the thick of it, of this awakening. For others of you, it may be, and this is more looking into the future, okay? Because it's quite a broad question, isn't it? You know, the messages that you need to hear. And how did I phrase it? How did I phrase it again? these messages were meant to find you. Okay, so it could be at any point, but there's something in this that you feel drawn to that you need to hear. So we've got the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Movement, choices, and decisions. Victory and success. The sacral chakra. Okay, so just these two are in reverse. So this might be what you're going through right now. The solar plexus represents our emotions, represents all the water or the liquid within our bodies. A way to rebalance that the sacral chakra is to, drink more water, to connect more with your emotions, and literally with water, taking long showers, baths, swims, but really connecting more so with how you feel emotionally. And this can also be about our creativity and sexuality. So you might be going through a bit of a block. So for some of you, it might be a creator's block. For others of you, it could be an emotional block. It could be the two things. And then one is affecting the other, and then vice versa. But there's something that you feel like a failure in almost. And maybe you don't use that phrase, and that's not a good phrase to use really, but that's just the word that came through to me. Feeling like a failure, feeling like you haven't succeeded in something. And maybe this is about, again, something emotionally, something you're emotionally charged to. Maybe this is about a person for some of you. Maybe this is about, again, creativity, or something to do with your career or your passion. And something that's been lacking. Maybe you've been lacking that passion. And I just sense this energy of stagnancy, of boredom at times. Maybe you felt a little bit bored, and this is now a shake-up that's happening because we have the energy is gaining momentum. So if you felt really stuck here and you felt like, why can't I move forwards, or why aren't I succeeding in this, or why can't I connect emotionally in that way, or creatively, or sexually, whatever the issue is that you feel you haven't been victorious in getting, it feels like you're overcoming that hurdle. Okay, so whether you're taking that time to, again, restructure your life in other ways, this may then help for you to connect more in an emotional sense. Maybe you become triggered by something that happens through this restructuring in your life, which then triggers this emotion. But it may be there's a sense of disassociation from your emotions as well. And, that's very natural as well. I mean, we are all human beings at the end of the day. We all go through some form of suffering. And it may be that this is your way of protecting yourself from potential pain, is to, detach emotionally, especially because I feel like you're a very sensitive person in a lot of ways. But I sense that maybe you don't openly express that, or you struggle to express that with others. Maybe you have like a Capricorn moon, perhaps, that is limiting you in that way. And it doesn't mean that you have limiting emotions, but it may mean that you feel limited in being able to, be open, express them, maybe even like a Scorpio moon or something. Okay. And then we have movements, choices, and decisions. So yeah, there's definitely something that you are debating, or that is going to be debatable if this is moving more into the future for you. Okay, this could be two different choices. Okay, two different people, two different career paths. It doesn't have to be two though. There could be multiple choices, but I definitely see this indecisive energy. And maybe this is why, again, you're having to go back and change something. Maybe because of whatever this awakening is, it's like you've seen something that you didn't see before. And that's why you need to go back and change something. Definitely. I really, really feel that. And I feel like it's going to bring you blessings when you do make that choice, when you do make that decision. And for some of you, if you've been wondering if this is like a yes or a no feeling, I'm not sure whether to do this or not, rather than, oh, I'm trying to decide between options in terms of, should I choose this person or this person? Should I go with this job or this job? It may be, should I start this venture, yes or no? And I feel like if that's the case for you, that, definitely jump in. We have here adventure, and say yes to change. So it may also be getting out of a habit or a cycle of saying no to things. If you're a person that maybe you used to say yes to things, but you got let down, or you got rejected, or you just got tired of it, so you stopped saying yes to things and new opportunities because you were worried that maybe in the end, maybe subconsciously, that it wouldn't work out. So it's like, again, a kind of protection mode. If I don't say yes, then I can't get hurt in some way. So yeah, for some of you, I feel like that may resonate, that, if you should just say yes to as many things as possible without, of course, causing any detriment to your overall well-being or to the well-being of others. But, if everything feels good, then just go for it. This is definitely the time to, take the bull by the horns and, just try it, experiment a little bit. Especially if you have felt like it's Groundhog Day or nothing's really changing. You're craving change, but nothing's really changing. And a lot of the changes are going to have to come from within you for you to take that action to create that change. But, I totally understand and empathize with you in not jumping straight in at times, because it's scary to change ourselves or to change our lives. It is. But it can also be really exhilarating. And, we've all had those experiences where we feel like, wow, I nearly didn't go to that event or that party, or I nearly didn't say yes to that offer. And if I hadn't have done, I would have kicked myself if I'd known the outcome. I'm sure all of us can relate to that in some way, even if it's something quite minor. So yeah, definitely this is the time for you to say yes. This is the energy of yes for you that I'm getting here. So I'm now going to look at some tarot messages for you. And then I will look at specific love messages as well, just in case any of you are really craving to feel like you want to know something about your romantic life specifically, okay? Let's see. Some of you, this could be about your romantic life anyway, but just to cover all bases. So, let's see. What messages are meant to find you right now, group 1? Okay, so we have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, all I keep noticing is the upside down triangle, with the grand trine. Upside down triangle. So I wonder what that... hold on. In the elements, this is Earth, I think. Earth. I mean, it would be Earth anyway because it's pentacle energy, but Earth, I don't know. I feel like there's another meaning to that. But let's continue. Oh, okay, we have 2 here. So we've got the 7 of Wands. Hold on a second. Oh, 7 sevens. We've got the 3 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, and then the 7 of Pentacles. So it may be that you're having to relearn something here. Maybe there's a lesson that you needed to learn. But this could also be about study for some of you. Maybe you are going back to school or to further your education in some way. Maybe there's just a particular subject that you're really interested in right now and you're going over and relearning some aspects about that. Okay, but again, for some of you, it might be that you're thinking about enrolling in some course or, furthering your education in a way. But for some of you, this could also be about life's lessons. And maybe there was a failure to learn a lesson in something. Yeah. And this could be about standing strong, being confident and, standing up for yourself. Okay, because this feels very much like a giving up giving up hope, giving up on passion, giving up on fighting for what you want, okay? So again, whether this is a relationship you've been fighting for and given up, or maybe you felt like you couldn't be yourself, or you couldn't do what you really wanted to do in the relationship. Maybe you felt stifled, okay? Well, this could be about your career, okay? Or something you're very passionate about, and it just feels like, yeah, it's like maybe you felt like you had to give up on something. But then here we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is about working on something consistently, okay? See how she's watering the tree? You know, she'll be doing that every day, or however often that tree needs watering in order for it to grow so beautifully and abundantly, okay? It's consistent effort and consistent love, care, and attention being put into something. So yeah, it feels like maybe that's what you'll be learning, is rather than, rather than jumping into something, but, you know, so maybe there's a bit of a contrast there. Maybe that's something you did do a lot, was jump into things without really thinking. So I've just noticed my camera angle is slightly askew and it's annoying me now. That's my Virgo going nuts. So, yeah, no, I'll just go back a minute. So maybe that you have jumped into things before and you feel like you didn't receive what you needed, or you know, maybe this is about slowing down a little bit, like not stopping, but slowing down. So if you felt like you were someone, or maybe you still feel this way, where you rush into everything and you give it a lot of energy and then you run out of steam. It's definitely giving me Aries vibes, okay, maybe like Mars and Aries or something. It's like go, 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 and then, oh, I'm tired now, I can't do any more. But rather slowing down your pace overall and just taking things a little bit more slowly, but again, consistently. So like the equivalent of, instead of working, say, 9 till 9 p.m., 4 days a week, you know, working from 9 till 3, you know, 6 days a week or 7 days a week. You know, I know that's... well, it is what it is. Some people may work those hours, but, you know, you think you get my drift. Something that's more consistent in its energy. So not quite as going in, taking the bull by the horns as such, even though we have got that jump in energy as well. So I feel like it's not about being afraid of jumping into things, but it's about, okay, but can I see myself really doing this long term? Am I willing to put in that long-term effort to sustain the efforts, you know, and to continue to learn things as well. This may also be about learning to work with others and collaborating, because this can be a multiple person energy as well. So maybe for some of you, you work alone. So maybe you're quite isolated if you work from home. A lot of people, including myself, are doing that now. So it might be that, you know, that's a sense of isolation at times, but you're still, you know, working through methodically and getting your work done. But again, it might be about, yeah, learning how to work with others. That may be something that's coming up for you at this time. So I'm just going to get another round of these messages, and then I'm going to look specifically at love. Okay, what messages are meant to find you? Okay, so we have the Three of Wands, the World, and the Two of Cups. Okay, so for some of you, you may be going through a breakup at this time. So my heart really does go out to you, and I hope that you're able to find peace, you know, and healing if this is what you're going through, okay? Now, this doesn't mean that this is what you're definitely going to go through if you're not already in this place, or that, I mean, because it's the Two of Cups, this is about an emotional separation or disconnection. It may be that you're still physically connected to someone, say, for instance, living with them, but there could be an emotional disconnect. This could also be about a friendship. It doesn't have to be romantic necessarily. It does always give me more of a romantic feeling this card, but as I said, it's just two people connecting on an emotional level. So there's some kind of separation. I feel like is, like I said, either going on now, maybe it's already past, okay? And this is something that you're learning about. You could be learning about relationships or breakups, learning about yourself and how you feel about separating from someone, okay? Or something that's definitely emotionally triggering for you. Some of you, because you could feel like this about the work that you do, especially if you work in a caring profession of some kind, where having a lot of compassion and emotional empathy is what you really need, okay? So it may be that there's something going on there as well for you, where there's a disconnect, okay? And the Three of Wands there reversed, this could be, there's a feeling of thinking about your future, and maybe you feel like you're a little lost about the future right now. Maybe you feel like you don't have the same future with a person that you once had before, or again, whatever was emotionally connecting for you, or whatever you're drawn to as I'm saying this, and this is making sense, of course. Yeah, it feels like there's a lackluster energy here. There's like a, ugh, I just don't see it happening, or I don't think it's going to work. This could even be a crush, okay? This might not even be someone that you've been with before. It could be somebody that you care for, okay? And you've just lost the hope of, you know, the future, okay? But then we do have the World card. So this is about a new cycle beginning. It could be a new karmic cycle beginning. So it feels, you know, in that respect, very positive, and especially with the surrounding cards as well. It feels like there's definitely a shift happening in your life, a big shift, okay? And it is going to bring you blessings. So this is, I feel, especially after you've had to go over things again, you've maybe had to repeat something, maybe even repeating mistakes. Some of us have to learn that way, by making mistakes and then learning from them, okay? So it might be that that's what you're having to go through, but then there is this new energy on the horizon for you, encompassing these lovely blessings in abundance as well. So there's definitely things for you to be more hopeful for, I feel like, in the future. So for those of you that are feeling a little lost or worried, or, you know, emotionally drained, or whatever, you know, harsh emotion that you might be suffering through right now, just know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and there is a new start on the horizon for you, okay? So definitely some kind of new opportunity, I feel like, is coming through. So let's see now about love. Okay, this message was meant to find you when it comes to love. Okay, so we have the King of Swords. No, it's the King of Wands in reverse. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse also. Wow, okay, Princess of Pentacles in reverse. So a lot of earth energy here, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Then we also have fire, Aries, Leo, Sag. So when it comes to love, yeah, it could be that there is some kind of separation that you're going through right now. So, I mean, you could be this divine masculine counterpart. You could be the divine feminine. I mean, you could both be feminine or both be masculine. But each of you are going to have, obviously, the masculine and feminine energy within you. But it definitely feels that there's a disconnect between two people, okay, when it comes to romance. And for some of you, it might be that you have a child together, okay? Maybe it's a daughter you have. And again, it could be a son. Maybe one of you has a child outside of this connection, okay? Or again, it could be that you have the child together. But there's something that feels insecure about this, okay? It doesn't feel safe for you right now. Maybe even safe for your child. Maybe that's how you feel. It could be that you're dealing with somebody that has a temper, somebody that could be quite angry. But because it's reversed, it's an imbalance in their action energy. So it could be that they take too much action in terms of getting very angry and aggressive. And please make sure you get yourself to a safe place if you are in any kind of abusive relationship. You know, always do your best to just, be safe. That's what you need more than anything, is safety and security. But this could also be on the flip side, that they are detached, not giving you anything, taking zero action towards you. So there's something here that's not balanced and that is making you feel insecure. It could be that they flip between those two energies here. But I'm just going to get a couple more cards here, and then I'm going to look at the Lover's Oracle as well. Okay, this message was meant to find you about love. This message was meant to find you. Okay, so we have the Strength card in reverse, which is the card of Leo. Princess of Wands. And the Devil. Okay, again, more earth and fire. So we've got Capricorn and, more fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sag. Yeah, so it does feel like there may be an imbalance in somebody's ego here. Okay. And again, there's either feeling of overconfidence and arrogance, or underconfidence and insecurity and not standing up for themselves. Or again, this could be you feeling like you're not standing up for yourself in some way. But here, I feel like there's a sense of you then standing up for yourself. Okay, this is how it feels. Yeah, I feel like you're finding this new energy within you, this new spark and this new desire for life to release what wasn't serving you. Because the Devil is showing something that was toxic, something that was addictive. Again, this could be about old habits, okay? It doesn't have to be about a specific person, but we are looking at romance overall. But again, every part of our lives is going to impact, our romantic life. So if we have an addiction to a substance, that will impact our partner in some way. So if these are intrusive thoughts, okay, that can become very toxic if they're negative in their forms. So it feels like you are, maybe this is what your epiphany is about, okay, when it comes to even your romantic life, and you're seeing things differently, you're seeing yourself differently, you're seeing that you need to release things that weren't healthy for you, things that you were addicted to, feelings that you were addicted to. Relationships can be addictive, especially if they are like a roller coaster of emotion with intense highs and intense lows, because it's the intensity that becomes addictive, like with anything. Okay, same with taking drugs or drinking alcohol or whatever that may be. The person is getting something from that, getting some kind of positive energy from that, or they certainly did in those initial stages. But then it becomes a habit. Anything that we do often enough becomes a habit, and we may not even get the same feeling we did initially, but it's just habit, and we tend to stay in what's comfortable. So that may also be what's going on here about, saying yes to the changes and awakening, and deciding to cut out certain things or cut out certain people from your life, and being confident in your decisions and in your choices. Yeah. Okay, so lastly, just leave him there. I'm going to look at the Lover's Oracle for you. Okay, this message was meant to find you. This message is meant to find... I really feel drawn to this one. Okay. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. So maybe for some of you, you're bringing it back down to earth, again with that earth energy, like you're grounding things, and you're starting to realize what's important in your life, the people that you really would like to have by your side as you move forwards into the future. And maybe not focusing on material gains. Maybe that was something you felt limited by in your relationships, or you stayed in relationships because of financial burdens or responsibilities. Or maybe you got used to a certain lifestyle, and again, just being a creature of habits, just stuck around because it was comfortable. But I just see you breaking away from what's comfortable now. And again, just really bringing things back to basics and feeling like, yeah, I'm going to really cherish, what's important to me now. When it comes to your memories as well, this might be you, maybe you were ruminating a lot before, going over things again, and maybe you're deciding to stop doing that, to stop ruminating and to just look forwards now. Okay, so was that more than one that jumped out? Yes, it was. It was like a ton, but I'm going to take the one that was faced up. Oh my God. Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. Wow. Yeah, so I feel like, yeah, that's just explained what I was saying just then about, yeah, releasing unwanted thoughts, which is then creating more room for positive thoughts and for new opportunities to come your way. So yeah, if you're spending a lot of time in the past and thinking about the past, it's never beneficial to do that. I mean, it's good to sometimes reevaluate the past and you can learn a lot from the past, but to stick there in a negative place it's not going to serve you in the long run. But I think that you are aware of this. I mean, I'm sensing you're a very intelligent person. I think logically you've got a very clever mind, the way that you think about things and even the way that you evaluate the past and your past actions. I think maybe at times you used to be a little stubborn, but I feel right now that you're actually in a much more flexible and more open space, that you can start to, really look at yourself objectively without being so judgmental, and having more compassion for what you've been through, and understanding that you only ever did the best that you could with the tools you had at your disposal, and not constantly blaming yourself for anything that went wrong. Okay, and then the last one, acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are. There is no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. Yes, so that might be something that you've been learning as well. Just to focus on those things that you can control, knowing that you can only control your actions and not that you can't control other people's actions. You can control how you react to what they say and what they do, but you don't need to worry about what other people are going to do. Only consider yourself. Okay. And yeah, acceptance. I think that's what we were just talking about a second ago as well. And yeah, being more accepting of yourself as well. And that is, that will help you to find that inner peace. As I said, by saying, okay, I may have messed up here or made the wrong choice in the past, but I only did what I thought was right in that moment. And as long as I've learned from that now and I don't repeat that, I'm just only going to continue moving forwards. Every day that goes by, we are evolving more and more. So, don't beat yourself up for something your past and less evolved self did. In terms like if you were a very young child, and at the age of 2, are you going to beat yourself up for, I don't know, whacking another kid on the arm or something? No, because you were a child and you didn't really know better and you were just, acting with your primal urges. You were less evolved than you are now. Okay, so even if you go back 5 years in your life with the things that you did, just think you were 5 years less evolved than you are now. So as long as you're learning, from your past self, and just know, okay, and I'm only going to continue to do the best I can with the tools I have at my disposal right here, right now. Okay, so I really do hope that this resonated with you, and feel free to let me know in the comments below if it does, and please feel free to give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy this reading today. And if you'd like personal reading, please check the description box below for all of the details there. Okay, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much again for being here today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Take care. So for those of you who chose group number 2 and the geode, let's take a look at what messages were meant to find you. Okay, let's see. The golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. Pluto transformation. South node, life's debts. Emotions are running high, supermoon. Adjustments are required, third quarter moon. The waiting game. Shadow. Recognition and reward. Okay. So group number two. I keep seeing, I don't know why, I'm seeing like a clock or I'm seeing a cog turning. Like something industrial. I don't know why, and I don't know if that's going to make sense for anybody, but like with these images, the colors, I just keep seeing something like industrial like. So I don't know what's going on there, whether that makes sense, or somebody works in that type of industry, or they're having to, I don't know, you're having to renovate. Oh, that was a word I needed in my last reading. I knew it would come through in a different part. But yeah, I don't know, something to do with metal or brass, or gold even. Yeah, something to do with precious metals. So yeah, I don't know if any of you are working with gold, or maybe you just bought some jewelry or a piece of equipment. Anyway, I won't stay on that because I feel like that may only just be for a very small amount of people. But please let me know in the comments if that does resonate with you, because I know that's a pretty out there one. Anyway, so for some of you, it might be something to do with children, because we do have the golden children there. So it might be that you are going through a transformation with children. Maybe you are a mother or an expectant mother. Maybe you're about to give birth. So, for some of you could be pregnant, or you could be with someone, having a baby, if you're the divine masculine counterpart, okay? Or it could be that you're going through some kind of transformation with your children, or maybe this is with your parents, okay? But it could be as well that they're, children in your life, in your family, or in your work. But yeah, definitely something that's coming through, maybe even about the inner child, okay? So it might not be that they're, literal children around you or in your focus right now, but it might be that you're having to go a little deeper into your own childhood wounds, okay? That could be something that's also coming up here, because there's something about the past here, something that's maybe triggering you, or triggering certain feelings that you used to have in the past. Yeah, and they feel pretty dark. Maybe it's that they're revealing your shadow side. Maybe for some of you, you've gone through a lot of work. You've worked on transforming yourself in a lot of ways, or transforming your life, and then you're being tested, okay? And that's what will naturally occur, okay? If you've made all these changes and you feel like, yes, I'm this changed version of myself now. And then we'll be tested on it. Will we react as our changed version of ourselves, or are we going to react in the same way we did before? How are we triggered, okay? And it's not to place blame on how we react to certain things, because a lot of the time it's coming from our reptilian brain. It's coming from that primal place where it's fight or flight. And it's not to say, we can't necessarily control that part of the brain, but we can learn how to control our reactions to things. It just depends how intense we feel by whatever has, taken us aback, okay, at some points. But it does feel there's quite a dark energy here. So it might be that that's how you're feeling about your life right now, or maybe like you are kept in the dark, but also that you are needing a change. You're wanting a change in your life, adjustments are required. So it may be that you are having to make some adjustments in your life for these emotions, okay? These could be new emotions that are running high for you at this time. Now, I say in all the readings that timing is obviously fluid, but also that, there's going to be many people watching this, and I think everybody's going to resonate with this being at different stages. So it may be that this is past energy that you're needing to hear about, okay? It might be this is exactly what's going on right now. For some of you, this might be talking more about the future, but in some way you were drawn to this reading and then to this pile. So something in this message is something you need to hear in this moment, okay? And I feel like in part you are being guided to make some kind of a change, but I don't feel like it's a drastic change that you need to make necessarily. It feels more like, adjustment is more of a low level change. It's just, a slight adjustment, but not something that's, a complete shake up, because we do have Pluto there, and that's what Pluto does. It shakes things up. I mean, Uranus is, I guess, more of the shake-up planet, but I guess every planet could shake something up in a way. But Pluto is those, real deep and long-lasting changes. This can be sudden endings that happen, okay, that causes you to have to make a change, okay? But I don't want you to be afraid of anything here, because this is all part of your growth, your soul's journey. There's something from the past, or maybe someone from the past, okay, that might have presented themselves back into your life that has triggered you, or that will trigger you moving forwards. So, this may be giving you that forewarning or foresight, so you're able to feel like you can control yourself in this situation or around this particular person. By almost practicing it almost, I sense, for some of you. And so I don't know why I managed to knock the camera then. But it also feels there's a sense of urgency here. So you may be very, it could be desperate. Okay, for some of you might be in that state of desperation. But it might be that you're just wanting something to move quicker than it is. Okay, this change or adjustment, or this even connection with your shadow side. Okay, it could be that you're wanting and needing to revisit this. But yeah, it feels like there's almost a block to it right now. And maybe because the emotions are so high, it might be that you're not able to see the situation as clearly as you could than if you were to be in a more relaxed state, okay? People are more suggestible when they're highly emotional. So that's why they say not to make impulsive decisions when you're in when you're very upset about something, or not to make important decisions or sign any contracts until you feel like you're at more of an even keel. So that's what I feel like is almost going on here. If you're feeling like your things are moving as slowly as like trying to walk through molasses, then just know that it's happening for a reason. It's moving very slowly because it's almost like it doesn't want to overwhelm you, whatever the situation is. It's like it wants you to take baby steps, I feel, and to make little adjustments so it's not incredibly overwhelming. Because this could even be about your work, perhaps, okay, or something you're very passionate about. I'm going to look at specific love messages very shortly as well for you. We're just looking at those general messages that you need to hear, or that you're being guided to hear right now. Excuse me, but it could be that you're going through some transformation in your work. Maybe even if you have your own business, naturally there are going to be these highs and lows, and it's learning how to deal with the lows. Do you have anything saved from when you were going through a high period, a very busy period? So that might be something about transforming or regenerating that, okay? But it might be, regenerating that income as well, okay? Again, if we're talking about your business or something, it might be that, there are these intense highs and lows, and yet it's just learning how to adjust accordingly to the highs and lows, okay? Because with recognition and reward in reverse, I always struggle to say that phrase, but this I mean, could be you feeling like you're not being recognized for your efforts right now. And again, that might be something that you're kind of rushing. Maybe you feel like I've put so much time and energy and effort into my career or into this relationship or just into my life, and I'm not seeing the rewards from it. So naturally, you're going to feel deflated by that and feel like I'm doing all of this, but where are the results? Where are the results? But I feel the results are there for you, group 2. They are around the corner. Maybe the corner is quite a long, winding one, but it could just as well be, a quick, sharp corner. So it could take a very sharp turn in a positive direction. It could take a little bit longer to get round that corner to see on the other side. So wherever you're at in this, I feel like it's all happening in divine timing for you. Maybe, for instance, if this was about your career, or say if you were, marketing it on social media, maybe if you reach too high of a height of fame too quickly, it can be very traumatizing. There are, look at a lot of child star celebrities end up being traumatized and being stuck at the age in which they reach their height of fame, because again, it's a very intense high, and you'd receive all of this recognition and attention, but then it reaches a point of pressure, and then you feel, okay, am I going to need to, the bar is now this high, I need to reach this every time, and that might be how you're feeling. Okay, the same, if you work in sales, for another company, perhaps it might be, you have an incredibly lucrative month and everybody's saying yes to you, and then the next month it's like nothing, and it's like you can't get on to just an even keel, or you feel like, again, that you are making all that effort and you're just not getting anywhere. So, but I feel like there are definitely things that you need to work through, and have compassion for yourself with what you're going through right now. And almost be in this place of acceptance, I feel would be helpful just right now, to accept that there may be some past pains or past people, or even, it doesn't have to be a negative thing, something positive from your past that's coming to the forefront, that you're having to revisit your shadow side, okay? And again, how you react to it. So it might be, again, that you've been feeling really good, and you feel like, nothing could knock me. We've all been there in that moment where we're kind of as high as a kite just on life, and something good happens, and we feel like I'm never going to come down from this feeling, but inevitably there's always going to be that dip. And yeah, I almost feel like that, oh my God, no, I've just forgotten what I was saying. And that's what can happen. You can disassociate by feeling so good. You're not always seeing, what's on the ground level. Okay, so yeah, it might be that you're having to kind of revisit something after feeling an intense high or an intense low. That's just what I'm getting, okay, with that Scorpio Pluto energy. It's definitely about intensity, and obviously I can't think of any other words today for you, but no, that's the word of the day. I feel like for you. Maybe that's something you crave, okay? Maybe it's something that you feel you need in life, is to feel those highs or to feel those lows. Maybe they're really motivating to you, okay? Some people really need that. They need like a big kick up the butt in order to make a move. And maybe that's what you've needed, okay? So now I'm just going to look at the tarot messages. We're just going to look at what other messages are coming through for you that you need to hear. These, whatever messages were meant to find you, and then I'll look specifically at romance as well. Okay, so what messages were meant to find you? What do you need to hear today, group 2? Okay, yeah, so we have the Hangman in reverse, the Six of Swords reversed, and the Justice card. Amazing. So yeah, this is you changing your perspective. So if you've been feeling, again, very stuck, maybe stuck in the past, or just stuck in the present, feeling like you're not moving forwards, okay? Because the Six of Swords is about going backwards as well when it's in this position. Okay, so it's like you're going backwards re-going over something, restructuring, and changing the way that you view things here, or you view a particular situation, or even the way you view a particular person. Okay, this could be about having a conversation with someone as well. So it could be that maybe there's some closure issues. Excuse me. Maybe there's some closure issues with someone. Maybe you didn't feel like you got to voice your truth to them. You didn't get to say what you really felt, or what that was really on your mind at the time. Now it could also be them, okay? This person could come and connect with you and let you know what they've been thinking or feeling lately. And then with the Justice card, this is about balance, okay? Equality, finding that place of peace and harmony in your relationships or in your love life, okay? So if you're already with someone and things have been a little bit hairy at times, or a little unstable or intense, I feel like it's definitely going to get to a place of more stability, more balance, more equal give and take, okay? Now this could also be about signing a contract. It might be for some of you about getting married, okay, or buying a home together, or something that ties you in to a contract. Now, if you're not with anybody right now, this could be that you are about to level up in your relationship status, okay? And yeah, and and I don't mean level up in saying that, by being single, you're lower down. Definitely not the case. But I mean in terms of progressing in the way that you want to, okay? Not in the way society deems that you should, but in the way that you want to. So for some of you, that could be very much the opposite, leaving a situation, leaving a person to find balance and peace, okay? Either way. But it feels definitely about going back over something, maybe even going back over the details of a contract here, or an agreement, okay? This could be the agreement that you have with your partner. So it might be that you need to have some restructuring in the things that you value, in your behaviors, in your compromise with one another, okay? But like I said, for some of you, this could be about you getting into a relationship, potentially with someone from your past, okay? And it doesn't have to be a past partner necessarily. It could be somebody that you just know, maybe a friend or a family member. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not looking specifically at love, was I? Oh my God, I just realized as well. I thought I was looking at love. That's weird. I know I said I was going to do that in a minute, didn't I? My mistake for getting confused. But, well, you can take that as love as well. But this could be also about career, okay? Either way, everything I've just said it will still resonate in the same way, I hope. Anyway, in terms of career, this could be about going back over something, changing your mind about your career, redoing something, and then signing a contract, okay? But either way, the fact that it's come out in the upright is all about finding that fairness, okay? Maybe if there was an injustice against you, you'll feel like the rights have been wronged, okay? So yeah, if there was somebody, maybe even at your workplace, that was being unfair to you, I feel like something's going to change then, okay? Or whatever area of your life you've been feeling has been unfair, I do feel like it's going to change. Now, I did have the King of Cups come out here as well. But I'm just going to get a couple more cards for the messages that you need, and then I'll look specifically at love as well. Okay, then we have the Princess of Pentacles, and then the King of Coins in reverse. Oh, interesting. So there are two kings and the princess in the middle. So yeah, I don't know if this is a situation with two masculines here. Maybe you are one of the masculines and you're dealing with another masculine, or this could be, because you could be the feminine, maybe deciding between two men. Or like I said, you could be one of them, or I don't know. We don't have to even be gender specific here, right? But I just find it quite interesting that there are two men and then the female in the middle, and both are kings, and then princess is considerably younger. So it's not like she's, she's not a queen, but yeah, she's princess, so she's younger than these two. So, I mean, so this could be about a child again as well. It could be about, having to decide between two different people, okay? Because these could even be like grandfather figures, okay? Yeah, so there could be something going on in that sense for you. Because this one here, this king, he's the King of Cups. This person is very open and kind and loving on an emotional level. Is emotionally mature, okay? And then this person here is more, I'd say, more selfish. They're more focused on, you know, their financial status, you know, maybe even their social status. And, you know, they could be someone that's very stubborn, maybe even a little miserly with their money, maybe withholding in some way, okay? You know, we've got earth sign energy here and water sign energy, so you could resonate, or, you know, these people that you know could do as well. But it feels like maybe that you may withdraw, okay? You may withdraw your energy in some ways. But if this is you, if you're the Princess of Pentacles here, okay? But whoever this person is here, I feel like they're withdrawing their action, their energy, their time, and their support. Interesting. So now let's look specifically at love messages. Love messages that you need to hear. Love messages that are meant to find you, group 2. Okay, so we have Temperance in reverse, which is Sagittarius energy. 9 of Wands reverse, more fire. The 8 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so it really feels like you've maybe given up on someone, or when it comes to love, maybe you feel like you've given up on love altogether right now. Or it may be that you're just taking a break, or maybe that you need to take a break. Okay, take it however it resonates. But this is about not putting the effort in, not making the time for something. So maybe you feel like you don't have the time for either any relationship, or maybe just one in particular, because there's something about balance here and moderation. Okay, so maybe you feel like something is lacking or is too much. Okay, maybe a relationship, or yeah, the emotions got too much, too intense for you. Okay, so I just sense this energy of giving up, of feeling exhausted and just withdrawing and giving up. Okay, now this could be somebody that you feel has treated you this way, but it almost feels like the two people, neither are willing to make any effort right now. And it doesn't mean that there isn't love. It doesn't mean that there isn't care or feelings there. But at the moment it feels like there's just zero effort going on, because in some way there is something out of balance, okay? And it may be, again, other things in your life or other things in their life that you're having to focus and prioritize on, and not be focused as much on this person or on this relationship, or again, just about relationships as a whole. But it kind of feels like a break rather than like a full severing. Okay, it's not to say there could be a severing, of course, but it feels like maybe there's been a bit of on and off, or maybe you'll just take a little bit of time off to work on other things. Okay, so let me just see what's coming through now with the Lovers Oracle for you. Oh, yeah, I did pull this one in the last one. Okay, when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories that you've shared with those you love. So maybe this is you reevaluating, you know, what really means something to you, the people that you really care about, the ones that are with you through thick and thin, the ones that give you that equal, you know, give and take. So maybe, you know, this could have been there were other factors at play here in your romantic life that were keeping you bound, but now it just feels like your heart is becoming more open. Okay, or maybe it doesn't feel like that right now for some of you, but I do sense that it's something that's coming. You're going to start opening up your heart more, but to those that are really going to nourish and cherish your soul and not try to crush it. Okay, so we have soulmate. Your soulmate is already with you in spirit. Believe this and they will manifest physically. I feel like that would be a really great affirmation, and feel free to write that down in the comments, that I believe that my soulmate is with me in spirit and physically. You know, I am a love magnet and my soulmate is drawn to me like a moth to a flame. You know, if you add, by writing it down, it just gives it more power, okay? So, you know, feel free to write that down in the comments, or write it down in your own notebook, or say it over and over again in your head, because I think that's such a beautiful message to know that your soulmate is with you. Okay, so even if it doesn't feel like that, even if it doesn't feel like the person that you've been on and off with, it might be that there's somebody else that you are being guided towards, and it may be that you have to close one door in order to open up another for a new opportunity to enter, okay? But again, it might be that this is the person you're already with, and I feel like you'll know. It might be that you're going through a rough patch, and maybe again it's taking a bit of a break. It's not to say that this person isn't your soulmate or this person is. It's a very personal thing that only you and the person you're with will truly know. Okay, so then we have, imagine all unwanted thoughts, this one came up before as well, dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. So if you were drawn to group 1's reading as well, you may resonate with that, some of the messages in there, because we do have a little similarity with some of the cards here, okay? But yes, so I feel like this is the advice for you, and you could take this generally or just in terms of love. You know, if there have been negative things plaguing you, especially past events and pains and traumas, and this is the advice, is to imagine them as dissolving into light, okay? A good way as well is to, you know, banish or reject the thoughts that come into your mind. You know, when a negative thought comes in, to banish it, to banish it. I banish this thought, and to then replace that with something positive. Okay, and the more you do that, the less frequently those negative thoughts will arise for you. Sometimes we need to accept what's coming through, okay? There may be a divine reason of some negative thing from the past has come up, but as long as we take what we need from it, we don't then ruminate in that. And because the problem is with those negative thoughts is that they breed, okay? Like, moods are contagious. So it's the same if you get into a bad mood, and how it can feel contagious to others around you, and vice versa. And it's the same within your own brain and your mind. And if you're thinking very negative things, your mind will then gravitate towards more negative things, until you break the pattern, and then you change and move onto something more positive. You're diverting that attention into the positive. Okay, so I feel like that's coming through for you in terms of love, relationships, or again, like I said, other areas of your life that may need it. But to not think as much about the past. If there's a conversation that's needed, if you can have that closure with someone, amazing, fantastic. Just make sure you then release it so you can create those new opportunities. Okay, so I do hope that this resonated with you, and please feel free to let me know in the comments if this did, and please give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy this reading today. I've really enjoyed reading for you today, so honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here. And if you'd like a personal reading, please check the description box below on all the information on how to book one with me. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Take care. Okay, so for those of you who chose group number 3, let's take a look at the messages that need to come through for you today. So, the first card we have is the Whale and Orca Elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, and diving deep. Mercury retrograde, reinvention. 4th house, roots. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. You are good enough, a full moon in Virgo. I feel like my camera angle, I don't know why I keep keeps doing that today. Let's just keep it straight, please. Okay. Oh, that's still not straight, is it? Hold on. That's my Virgo being set off right now. Okay. Oh. Does anyone else get really annoyed at this? Just wanting things to be in nice straight lines. I mean, I'm certainly not obsessed with this, but I like nice presentation. Okay. Fertility. Patience. And material harvest. Okay, so the first thing that's jumping out to me is pregnancy here. Okay, so yeah, for some of you, I definitely feel like there's either that you could be pregnant. This did come out in one of the other readings, but nowhere near as strong as this one. This is major, major, major. Like I said, either you or a loved one, your partner perhaps, or a friend. But it feels like there's definitely something growing here, okay? Now, it doesn't have to be pregnancy, of course. This could be an idea, like the birth of an idea. But it definitely feels like there's some kind of new beginning that I feel you're working on here, or you're working on growing, okay? Now, it could also be something new, like a new computer you're buying, or a new phone, or something to do with communications. Maybe you've started a new relationship or a friendship or a business partnership, and you're connecting, you're having this back and forth, okay? Or maybe you're just getting into this really sociable energy where you're just chatting with a lot of people, or maybe talking more in depth with those you already know. But it's definitely a lot about the mind, Gemini's energy, communication, and what's going on there, because we also have the Mercury retrograde card, okay? So definitely things going on communicatively, intellectually. You know, maybe you are studying something, maybe you're spending a lot of time online, or reading a lot of books, okay, or upping your knowledge in some way. Okay, maybe you've just enrolled on a new course or something, maybe like an online course. It feels more online kind of stuff, okay, because I'm getting a lot of home energy here. Because we have the 4th house, which represents our home, our roots, okay? It also represents our mother, or us as a mother if we are a feminine, divine feminine. It represents anything that's maternal. This could even be like feeling like a pet mother or father. And yeah, anything that's emotionally sensitive as well. And it's a very nurturing energy. So, with the fertility card, the Empress card, very similar energies too. And then Virgo is the card naturally in tarot as the Hermit, so likes to stay at home a lot. So again, maybe that's what you're going through right now. Maybe you are having to stay at home. If you're having to, for instance, quarantine, that could be a reason. Or you work from home, or again, maybe you're looking after kids you already have, or a child you're nurturing or about to birth, okay? Or like I said, nurturing your own business, okay, and doing things a lot from home. Now, it could also be that you are like redecorating or revamping your surroundings as well. That could be what's going on here too, like changing your scenery, okay? But it feels like less so structurally, but it feels more like with Mercury retrograde, it's about redoing things, okay? So anything with the word re in front of it is a good way to remember, the best way to utilize Mercury retrograde's energy. So, okay, it's a good time to reinvent, okay? It's a good time to reignite, to restart or reconnect, okay? That tends to be why people from our past may re-enter. That might be something that's going on for you right now. They come in during Mercury retrograde, things with the car. That's why as well it might be needing to take the car into the garage to redo something that maybe needed some fine tuning, okay? That again, this could be about your business, the way that you conduct your business, the way that you communicate with your clients, or in in your work, you know, with your colleagues, okay? It could be the way that you communicate is changing. Maybe even on the platform that you use. Maybe you used email a lot, and maybe you start using DMs more, for instance. I don't know, that's just an example, okay? But it might be you go back to doing things maybe the way that you used to do them. Maybe you used to do things in a certain way, but you changed it up, and then maybe you feel like that way actually worked better. But maybe you wouldn't have known that if you hadn't have tried to do something else. So maybe that's what's going on there as well for you. Okay, but it does feel like there's something that you have maybe been a little impatient about, or you've wanted something to move quicker than it has, okay? Again, maybe this is communication overall with a particular person. You know, it could be romantic. I am going to look specifically at romantic messages shortly. Okay, just for those of you that are really interested in that side of things. But obviously we're just looking at the moment generally at the messages that are coming through. Okay, so yeah, something that maybe you feel, yeah, maybe you wanted it to move faster than it has done, or you know, maybe you didn't move too quickly in something, and maybe you're wanting to take a softer approach to something. But it definitely feels about something to do with nurturing, and being more loving towards something, or again, someone. This may be being about more loving towards yourself, okay? Or for instance, if this is about career or something you were very passionate about, it may be that initially you had all of that drive because you had the spark there and you were willing to put in all the effort to nurture it and to watch it grow. But maybe you got to a point where you felt like, oh, it's not, I don't feel the same love for it anymore, or I'm struggling to feel that passion and to want to nurture it. So it might be that you know, trying to find a way of, you know, reigniting that potentially an emotional connection to it, especially if you work in something you feel is helping other people, you know, being like the mother, being like the shoulder to cry on, or you know, maybe just in the place of work, that's what you're able to provide for others, okay? But yeah, it feels like maybe you're going to be putting more love back into something, and that's going to help to bring in that material harvest, okay? So it does feel like there's, like maybe, and that's maybe how you're feeling now, that you've got everything that you need, you're feeling safe, you're feeling secure, you feel grounded, you know, there's, you know, plenty around you. You know, abundance is having, you know, an abundance of something, so it's having maybe even an excess, it's more having more than you need. So yeah, that's the feeling that I'm getting. So if you're not feeling this way right now, I sense that this may be where you start to head, okay? Because everybody's going to be at different stages, okay, in this particular reading, because it's, you know, what messages are coming through. You know, this message is meant to find you. So it could be that it finds you when you're going through this exact situation. It could be that it finds you after you've been through this situation and something in this that you need clarity on from the past. It could be the future. It could be this is where you are headed, okay? So no matter what stage you're at in timing wise, just have that reassurance that you do have everything you need, and that you will have everything you need. And if that's something that you're struggling with currently, you know, you can write that down as an affirmation in the comment section. I am abundant always. I am always feeling safe and secure. I always have more than enough to feel safe, okay? So now I'm going to look at the tarot messages, just to look at general messages coming through for you, and then I'll look specifically at love, okay? Oh yeah, but before I do, a couple more things here. It might be that you're also leaning on your elders, okay? So older people that are around you right now. So yeah, so older friends or family, or even someone you may look up to at work that has more experience, okay? And that's where it feels like you're headed. Rather, I mean, you may be the elder that is giving the advice to the younger as well there, okay? So it could be either way, but it feels more about getting advice from someone that you respect, that you admire, and that you know, would really listen to, okay? And maybe that you go a little bit deeper than you usually do with that person. and then you are good enough, okay? So I feel like that's just a message for you right now to let you know that you are good enough no matter what's going on right now. And it's also about, you know, feeling secure when it comes to your value in yourself and your self-esteem. So yeah, I feel like that's something to, you know, really give yourself, you know, as much love as you can, and to not beat yourself up for things that you've said, things that you've done. Because I sense maybe you start replaying certain conversations or things you've done in the past, and it doesn't serve your highest good, okay? Just to know that you did everything you could, okay, with the tools you had at your disposal. You know, you acted with best intent, in which you thought was for the best in some way, okay? And just knowing that that was your less evolved self. Every day we evolve more and more. So, you know, you wouldn't beat yourself up for something you did when you were, you know, a year old. So why do that for something that you did 2 years ago, 5 years ago? As long as you can see, you know, what you could have done differently, and as long as you're willing to change and you've got that self-acceptance, then to just have compassion and say, I did the best I could, but I'm going to now do better, okay? Every day I'm going to do better, and still, everything I do now, I'm just doing to the best of my ability. Okay, so we have the Six of Swords in reverse, the Nine of Cups, and then the Princess of Cups. Wow, yeah. Again, I always think this card looks like a pregnant card. You know, so yeah, I really feel some of you, and I said it might be something that happens moving forwards, okay? But Six of Swords is again about going backwards. Very much makes a connection there with Mercury retrograde, you know, going back over things. Again, working on your communication, you know, changing maybe even the way that you speak, the way that you communicate, just generally, or, you know, in a specific way, you know, whether that's tailored towards your business or towards your relationships. This is something about, you know, going over something again. Like I said, this might be about, you know, buying a new piece of technology that helps you to move forwards, okay? But it's having to go back, maybe even fixing something. This could be about fixing something that had been broken as well. But yeah, Nine of Cups, it just feels like your heart is really full, okay? Or it certainly is about to be, again, depending on the stage that you're at in this reading. But it's such a lovely card to get. Even I especially love this this image in this deck, okay? I mean, look at it. It's just, it's singing with joy. Like, it's just so bright and colourful and beautiful. We've got the lovely symbol of the heart and then all of the cups. So yeah, it's definitely like a my heart is full energy, okay? So yeah, that's definitely where I feel like you are at, or you're going to be, you know, just feeling like abundant, okay? Abundant with love. So it might be that you you deepen your current connections with others, or it may be that you, again, find new connections that grow into something on a deeper level, okay? But again, with that Mercury retrograde, it could be about, yeah, reconnecting with people from your past. Again, it doesn't have to be a relationship. It could also be, you know, friends, okay? It could be a feminine that you hadn't seen in a while, that you reconnect with. If you know, you see that person as a friend, okay? Either way. Yeah. So let's see what's now coming through in love specifically for you. So bear with me 1 second, my low battery sign has come on. There we go. Right. So love messages that are coming through for you. Okay, so we've got the King of Coins reversed, the Knight of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so you may, yeah, it might be that there are two potential suitors here that you need to decide between. Okay, that makes sense actually with that Gemini and the two people. So yeah, it could be that you're feeling so abundant because there are two different people that are, you know, vying for your attention. But it definitely feels like one is certainly more open than the other. Both maybe are quite young. not incredibly young, not like a page or anything, but it might be that you notice that they're younger than you, and that could be in chronological age, but it could be in terms of maturity or financial status or something. Almost like they're a little bit behind in some way, and not that that's a negative thing, it's just an observation. So we've got earth sign energy as well here, and then we've got more water. But it may be that you were rejected, okay, by one of them or by both of them, and then they both come back in. Or it may be that you rejected one of them, okay. But this is a feeling of, like, if you were feeling rejected, you're feeling left out in the cold, that's about to like be over. Like maybe you'll receive some closure, or maybe you'll get that attention that you had wanted in the first place that you were lacking, that then made you feel this way. Because the Knight of Cups here is someone that is very open emotionally, and like they're making an effort. The Knights usually show movement as well, like they're making moves. So it may be that there is someone here that is willing to make moves and to be more, not necessarily like an open book emotionally, but to be very sweet and to show that they're kind and their sensitive side, and show you that they care. Okay, I mean, this could also be one person that's encompassing both of these energies, okay? So I think you'll know if this makes sense, because this other person here, or this other side to this person, is, you know, maybe a little selfish, or very focused on money or material gains. It can go in the opposite way. I mean, it could manifest as being lazy, you know, not having much drive or ambition. Because either way, with it being reversed, it's in over or under drive, okay? So yeah, it's either that this person has a lot of ambition but doesn't involve you in it, or doesn't make you a priority, or that they have very little and that they're lacking in that kind of physical energy, or maybe even just physical effort, okay? It might be that, you know, they come across very sweet and kind, or maybe they say all of the right things, or maybe, you know, they feel the connection, but there's no real effort behind it, there's no drive, okay? So whether this person is simply distracted right now on, you know, and being focused on their career, or whether they're just not making the effort, okay? I feel like this is something that you're definitely going to be considering now moving forwards. Again, do I choose one or the other, okay? Or if this is one person, you know, am I going to accept the good side and, you know, accept the bad? Because ultimately that's what would need to happen if you wanted to be with this person, if it is one, to accept or to reject, okay? But it does feel like the hardest times are over, okay? So I feel like for you, the worst place that you were feeling, I feel like, you know, that's now in the past. And it's definitely, there's so much abundance of love here that even if you rejected both of these people, potentially, that there would be somebody else around the corner for you, okay? Or that you don't need this energy. It's like you're starting to know that you are good enough and you do value yourself very highly right now. So you're not going to accept like half-assed behavior or efforts. You know that you're deserving of more than that. So lastly, we're just going to look at the Lovers Oracle. I've already drawn to this one. Sacred union. Honor and trust your relationship, for it is truly sacred. Okay. Couple more. A message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. Somebody loves you. Group 3, somebody definitely loves you intensely. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. Okay, love that. So yeah, I think that makes sense with what was coming through there about, yeah, if you want to be with them, then you do have to accept the good and the bad, okay? Of course, relationships should encompass a lot of compromise. There should be compromise on both sides equally. But you still have to feel like you can accept the person, flaws and all. And if you can't accept the flaws, then it's better to not try to, you know, if you really know that you can't, if they're deal breakers, then it's better to set yourself free and to set them free so you can be with people that will fully accept you, and you can be with people that you can trust, because that's the thing. I feel like it's more about trust with you. You want to know if you can really trust them. And if you don't feel like you can trust them, then that's where you start to feel insecure. And I feel like trust is such a big thing for you that you can put up with a lot of stuff, but if they lie to you, or I mean, it's the same for most of us, obviously. If someone betrays us, it's the worst thing for most people to have to deal with in that respect. But I feel like it's just a real sticking point to you. Like maybe you're quite open in other ways, but you very much need that person to be trustworthy. So I feel like that's something that's coming through. Okay, and I feel like you're being called to really look at the positives and the negatives, look at both sides of things and see if does the good outweigh the bad, or does the bad outweigh the good? If the bad outweighs the good, is there anything that you can do to level things out? Okay, because it's always got to be coming from both of you in order for it to work and connect. Or have you done everything you can? Have you done all you can, and you know that it's down to the other person? But either way, it feels like there is some kind of sacred relationship or connection that you have with someone here. So I feel like you know who this person is. I really do. For some of you, maybe this is like a secret admirer. Okay, maybe you sense the presence of someone. Maybe you get the feeling like, I know there's somebody very close. I sense that there's somebody I'm going to connect with on a deep level, but I just haven't met them yet, or they've not come to my eye line yet, okay? But either way, I feel like there's either this person you know, or there's someone you don't know that is keeping an eye on you, and that definitely has a lot of love for you, okay? They feel elated when they think of you. It's a really sweet energy, I feel. It might have some sexual drive to it as well, but overall it feels more like a sweet and caring and nurturing energy that somebody has for you. And that makes sense, especially if you are the one giving out a lot of love and you're in this abundantly loving energy. That is what you're going to attract. And I feel like that's exactly what's happening here, or certainly what will happen if this is more so a what's happening in the future message for you, okay? So I do hope that this resonates with you, and please feel free to let me know in the comments below if it does, and please give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy this reading today. And if you'd like a personal reading, please check the description box below. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Take care. And lastly, group number 4. Let's take a look at your reading. So, these messages were meant to find you. Okay, so the first message we have is Water Guardian, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. 12th house and escape. Sagittarius, I see. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. You and your loved ones are safe. It's a very heavy energy that's coming through. Moving on in reverse. Rest and rejuvenate. Wow. And then passion ignited. Okay. Wow, group 4. So we've got the word rest come through twice here. So, as I said with all the readings today, you could be at any stage, okay, because this is kind of a very general message, what messages are coming through. So this could be about your past, present, or future, okay? Depends how you resonate with the situation that's going on here, okay? But for a lot of you, I feel like this is maybe where you are now, okay? Maybe you're taking some time out, okay? Or maybe this is what you're being guided to do here, because it does feel like there's some suffering here. I'm seeing a lot of pain. Maybe there's been things going on with your family or your safety and security, okay? I'm sensing some anxiety here. There's a sense of going backwards and ruminating about the past. That has been a bit of a theme today, I will say. But all the readings are actually very different overall, I feel. But In particular, there's this energy of going backwards, going back over something. And I sense that like you're maybe struggling to move on from something that was emotionally charged, something that maybe triggered your feeling of insecurity or feeling like you're out of your comfort zone in some way. So yeah, it might be that you've gone through something quite traumatic. Again, this might be something in your past that's being brought back up again in some way, or it could be something that's going on presently that you're still struggling to get through. But at the same time, with that Sagittarius, I feel like you've definitely learned a lot. And maybe that you're starting to see things in a different way off the back of this very triggering situation. But I sense that you just, at the moment, like feel like escaping, like you maybe even don't want to be here at times. And my heart really goes out to you. I'm sending you lots of love and healing energy your way, okay, if you're feeling in this very dark place. But I think, was it Jim Carrey that said depressed is, the same as the two words deep rest, which is so true. Because instead of viewing being depressed, and I'm not saying you are depressed necessarily, but that is what it's feeling like a little bit. It's very low energy. And it's not to say that being depressed is actually a terrible thing, as long as you see it as a temporary thing, rather than just how life is, but seeing it as, okay, I'm not feeling good right now. My mental state doesn't feel good. My emotional state isn't imbalanced. I'm suffering in some way. So this is your body's way of protecting you, is by getting you to rest. If we were out in the wild, for instance, like the sick becomes a target to some. Okay, can feel like a target because they're weaker, and even the other animals in the herd, may abandon them. Okay, which is really sad to think about. But it's almost, again, a sense of protection from them getting, eaten potentially, if they were to feel left behind with you. Okay, and it's just, that sounds really painful. Like my heart hurts as I say that. So I feel like for some of you, maybe that's how you feel, like you've been left like injured almost, or like you were, at your lowest point and you were abandoned in some way. So again, this might be what you're feeling right now, or maybe again, something in your past made you feel that way and something's triggered it in the present. And you're having to focus more on yourself right now. But this could be just more of a period of, introspection and being introverted. And focusing on nourishing your physical health and your emotional and your mental health, maybe from a period that was very, over the top. With Sagittarius, it's ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion. So, Jupiter can have an amazing influence on things, a very positive, happy influence, and creates, things that are, bigger. But if there is a problem, for instance, or something negative, it could create a bigger problem. So it depends what this is, but it feels like there's something that was big, or maybe even over exaggerated or overwhelming. Something about the word over, I feel, keeps coming through. Like I just said, this overwhelmed, and maybe even some of you, you've been having some, physical pains as well in your body. Maybe you might have like a tense neck or shoulders, or your back. And, that usually can denote that there's too many responsibilities on your shoulders, or maybe people have too high expectations of you, or maybe you had, very high expectations of yourself, and nothing wrong with that. But I feel like there's a sense of being overloaded or, overburdened, okay? And you just needed to release some things to rest and rejuvenate, okay? And the positive thing I see here is that once you rejuvenate, you're then going to spark something, okay? We've got the number 1 here, so I feel like there's some kind of new beginning, okay? By having this time of deep rest, which again is what your body needs to do during this time. It's like you just need that time to... it's like recharging the batteries. Think when we're using our phones all day long, they're in our hands, being active. And if we didn't put our phone to rest, either turn it off lock it or put it on charge, it would burn out, it would die. And that's, you know, what you need to almost treat yourself like, okay, or instead of waiting for it to get to, you know, 1%, you know, or get to burnout for yourself, to think, okay, I'm going to charge myself at 50%, or I'm going to charge myself at 70%, or, you know, whatever that might be, just taking maybe more regular breaks so you don't get to the point where you need to take a whole month off. But maybe that's something you need to do. Okay, it's your own personal journey, and you have to do what feels right and what you're being called to do. Okay, because over here we also have balanced spirituality and practicality. So that might be something you're doing as well. Maybe you are using divination like tarot. Maybe you read tarot for yourself, or you get tarot readings, or you watch these picker cards. Maybe you're very into astrology, you know, or spiritual meditation, or, you know, yoga, or other kind of spiritual or holistic practices. Maybe getting Reiki healing or reflexology. There's so many things which I'm not going to name all, obviously, but, you know, it may be that you did too much of one thing and not enough of the other. So if you you know, focus a lot on spirituality but not putting any physical effort in, then, you know, that's an imbalance. You're not going to then you know, see the results of, sorry, 1 second, my low battery sign has come on just as I was mentioning that about low battery. So there we go. But yes, you know, if you're very spiritual and intuitive, and you may have all the best ideas, maybe you've intuitively created a lot of things or written things down but not taken the action on it, which is what's needed. The fire is what's needed to start something, like fire starter, think about it. So, you know, if everything else is kind of stagnant, there needs to be that drive, that passion. And maybe this is what you've been lacking, because everything feels very dark, very blue, maybe even like monotonous. Maybe you felt kind of bored, or like nothing's changing in your life. Maybe you just needed something to make you feel passionate again, to have that desire, something exciting, okay, that's going to give you that, you know, that new zest for life, that new zest to move forwards in your life. Yeah, I really feel like that's what's coming for you, as long as you take the time to rest, but you don't stay caught up in it, okay? Now let's just take a look at the tarot messages, and then I will look specifically at romance and love messages as well. I really didn't intend for this video to be so long today, but oh well. Okay, wow. So we have the Ace of Cups, Temperance in reverse, and the Three of Pentacles reversed. Yeah. So again, a lot today about learning lessons, okay? So if you are drawn to another pile, you might find some messages in there, if you were drawn to it, of course. But, you know, there's usually a running theme throughout the readings in some way. Of course, the question, but there's usually something that correlates with all of them, in mine anyway. But yeah, I definitely feel there's something, like everyone at the moment, collectively, we're all learning a lot of lessons, okay? And whether that's lessons about ourselves, lessons about the past, or even studying and learning new things, you know, enrolling in courses, that kind of thing. I guess we're about to move into Sagittarius season, currently in the thick of Scorpio season as I'm recording this. Of course, it's a timeless reading, but that's the energy of the moment. So very intense energy right now, but when we move to Sagittarius, it'll be a lot more uplifting, and it's a great time to expand our knowledge and learning new things. So, you know, that might be a good time to start something as well. And then moving into Capricorn season, we'll, you know, be able to have that longevity and keep up the discipline and consistency with it, okay? So just my advice. And oh my god, I just realized I didn't, Temperance card is Sagittarius. Oh my god, of course it is. Yeah, so we've got Sagittarius there and Sagittarius there. So again, you might resonate with Sagittarian energy right now. Or again, it could be the Sagittarius season brings about some changes here for you. Okay. But yeah, so the Ace of Cups is some kind of new offer that's coming through here. Okay, and it might be this new offer that ignites this passion within you. Okay, so it could be someone approaches you. It could be that they ask you out for a drink. Or even that they ask you for some advice. And it doesn't have to be romance necessarily, because we're going to look at romance in a second. It could be an offer of friendship, or it could be an offer of a new work opportunity. But it feels like it'll start off very, very slowly in a way. And I feel like there's a reason for that, and it's because you need to find more balance, okay? Because something doesn't feel like it's very balanced or in moderation, and I feel like that was translating here in this part of the reading for sure. So this is where I feel like, I don't need to go over it again, that you're already on that path to rebalance yourself and to work through whatever pain or suffering or loneliness or care that you really need to give yourself, okay? Definitely feels like that's something that you're looking to rebalance in your life, okay? And this may also be about, rebalancing the way that you learn, okay? Again, we all can learn in different ways. So I'm getting heart palpitations right now as I'm saying this, and that never really happens, but it's weird. Why? Oh, sorry, 1 second. Okay, I don't know what that was about. Heart palpitations, yes. I don't know if there's something that you are particularly nervous about or worried about, or something that's really tugging on your heartstrings, okay? But yeah, this could be, as I said, about collaborating. It could be about how you collaborate with others, okay? So let me just, I'm now getting really hot. Okay, I don't know what's going on. So I don't know if some of you are feeling, I don't know if this is a physical illness as well for some of you, It could be that there's something physical that's happening that's, made you stop, okay? And again, that can sometimes happen. The body, if we don't, stop before we get to that place of burnout, our body may do that for us by giving us certain pains or illnesses. Say, okay, if you're not going to stop now, then I'm going to make you stop. So yeah, for some of you that could be what's going on. So again, I'm sending you lots of love, light and healing right now. So I'm just going to look at love messages for you. Okay, so we've got 4 of Swords, 8 of Swords. So a lot of air energy coming through here, Aquarius, Libra and Gemini. And then some earth, we've got the 4 of Pentacles reversed. So yeah, it feels like maybe romantically there's not a lot going on right now. So it might be that you're in separation from someone or in no contact, okay? So it could be that you've withdrawn your energy again, because this is a card of deep rest again. This is about kind of being asleep, not being open communicatively right now. And yeah, just focusing on yourself and focusing on getting your rest. So yeah, but again, it could be that, a relationship you've been in or a situationship you've been in, you've taken some time out. You've taken some time to remain still and quiet. Okay, maybe you needed to ghost someone or felt you needed to distance yourself, okay? But it could be someone else has done this to you as well, has gone cold and silent on you. Which may be in part what's triggered this feeling of pain and of suffering. Okay, and then we do have the 8 of Swords here in reverse. So it feels like you're releasing a lot of anxiety. Okay, so even though it may feel like there's a struggle going on here mentally, but I do see that you've let go of a lot of things here. Okay, you've let go and you've released the grip you had of something or someone, okay? So yeah, if you were holding on very tightly to a relationship or even to the idea of a relationship just as a whole or about a specific person, I just feel like whatever you were holding on to, you've let go of, or you're about to let go of here, okay, if we're looking more so at the future. So yeah, even though you may feel like you're not progressing, you are still moving forwards, because you're understanding and learning that about yourself, about when to let go. Because it's like when we hold on too long, it ends up hurting us, like holding on to barbed wire. Okay, the tighter we grip to the barbed wire, the more it cuts us. As we start to release, the pain is released, and then we can start to heal. Okay, so I feel like, yeah, that's what you're going through right now. There's a lot of healing, and progression, okay? Because it's like you're going through the healing, but you're also learning to let go, which is certainly progression in moving forwards for you when it comes to relationships. I just feel like this is almost like your winter period, group 4. This is the time for you to, not be out there socializing all the time. And not to say you shouldn't socialize, obviously. But if you are feeling called to just relax at home or to nurture yourself, if you're feeling ill or you've got some ailments going on, or, if you've gone through a separation with someone or you're going through something very harsh, it's like you really need to spend some quality time on your own, or certainly spend quality time with your loved ones. That's what I feel like you're being called to do, like your real close family, the caregivers that you grew up with, or the friends that have always been by your side. It's those people around you that are really going to help to lift you up right now. But ultimately it's going to be you that brings you out of this place, and you will, because we have that passion ignited, okay? This is the only real bit of passion that's come through in this whole reading. So it just feels like this is your process right now. Your process is just to relax and to care for yourself on a deeper level, and then the passion will come. You'll feel it, okay? It'll just happen one day. You'll suddenly feel like you have this new spring in your step, or this, like you jump out of bed in the morning feeling happy, or you receive an opportunity or some communication that just gives you that oomph again, where you feel like, yes, okay, life isn't just full of these dreary, drab feelings and days and rejections and pain. There are good things, and it gives me the hope that there are going to be more good things to come as well. So lastly, I'm just going to look at the Lovers Oracle for you. Lovers Oracle, what's coming through, please, for group 4? Okay, so we have sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. So yeah, for some of you, it might be that this is a new sexual connection that's coming through for you. Okay, or there's a reignition, maybe someone that you were connected to, and that you unite in that very physically intimate way. Okay, but it may be more about honoring that part of yourself without giving it away to someone else in this moment. It might be that you're very much focused on, your self-love right now. Okay. We've got my beloved. Though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united. For love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. So yeah, that may be how you are feeling right now, that you are away from the one that you love. But I feel like you're getting to that place of acceptance, even though it feels very painful at times, that you are actually evolving, moving through this, and you are starting to get to the point where you understand that you need to be physically apart right now, but spiritually you are still connected. And I do feel telepathically you are connected as well, but right now I just feel like there's a sense of disassociation with yourself, and I feel like that is all part of your own primal protection. So we have now, let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. Okay, so maybe that was what was coming through initially about that holding on, holding on to something very tightly. Maybe you felt like you were holding on to the relationship, or again, the idea of the relationship, if this was more of a crush or like a fantasy, it may be that you were holding on to that, but not giving it enough space, okay? And maybe you did need some physical space from this person to really evaluate, how real are these feelings, or how valid or how true or how deep are these feelings if I'm not to actually see them face to face, okay? So it could be about that. But it could even be if you were in the relationship and you didn't trust that person, or you wanted to be at their side all the time. That could be what that's about as well, like feeling like you needed to give them a little bit more space, or maybe they needed to give you more space, okay? It could be that they were holding on to you too tightly. But I'm definitely sensing this need for freedom here in this connection, or whatever's been going on romantically, just feeling like there's this need for freedom and adventure, but that there is still a very deep and connected love that you have, because let there be closeness. There is closeness, I feel, between you and another person, no matter what the circumstances are or what the logic even feels like. I sense that there is a deep connection you share with someone, and no matter what dark time you're going through right now, just know that that's real, that is there. Okay, and that's not changed. Just because there's this separation doesn't mean that the love itself has changed, and maybe even that it transforms into something deeper in the long run. Only time will tell, though. So I do hope that this reading resonates with you, Group 4. Please feel free to let me know in the comments below if it does, and please give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy this reading today. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, please check the description box below for all of the details there. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Take care.